Have you ever woken up feeling heavy in your heart without knowing why? Have you ever noticed that even when no one hurts you, you still feel uneasy inside? Have you ever asked yourself, why does life keep repeating the same painful patterns? The truth is, the cause is not in the outside world. It lies within the silent thoughts you repeat every single day. This is the kind of karma that is quiet but extremely dangerous. You might create it hundreds of times in just one day. And it is this silent karma, not the big actions, that keeps you tied to suffering. Welcome back to the Son.Mindfulness channel. This is the place where we reflect on Buddhist teachings, practice mindfulness, and explore the hidden secrets of karma. Each sharing here is a gentle reminder to live with peace, freedom, and true happiness. If you find this meaningful, please subscribe and join the Son.Mindfulness community. Doing so not only nourishes your own journey, but also helps spread positive energy to many others. I want to express my gratitude for your presence here. I wish you good health, peace, happiness, and good fortune in every step you take. In this video, I will share with you a secret that very few people realize. A secret that can change the way you look at karma and at your life. Are you ready to discover what truly creates the heaviest karma? If you are, then let us begin the journey right now. Part 1. Ordinary but silent karma. My dear friend, today I want to sit with you like two old friends sharing a cup of tea and tell you a truth that many people overlook. When we think about karma, most of us imagine big actions, stealing, cheating, or other obvious wrongdoings. We assume those are what create heavy karma, binding a person's fate. But actually, there's a kind of karma even more dangerous, and we create it daily, sometimes hundreds of times a day. It is the karma of silent thoughts, those small streams of judgment and envy that we think no one notices. Have you ever seen someone succeed and felt a flicker of jealousy? Or when someone upsets you, you keep quiet, but in your mind you replay the anger and judgment? Those moments may seem harmless, but they plant powerful seeds into your consciousness. They are like small stones thrown into the river of your mind, creating endless ripples that never stop. I remember an older devotee once confided in me, "Teacher, I don't steal, I don't harm anyone, but my life is still full of unrest." I smiled gently and asked, "In one day, how many times do you think badly of others? How many times do you replay anger, comparison, or envy in your mind?" She was silent for a long time, then nodded with tears in her eyes. She realized those quiet, invisible thoughts were the chains binding her to suffering. Have you ever felt the same? At night, you lie awake, remembering someone's harsh words, still silently criticizing them in your heart. When you see someone you know succeed, you quietly think they don't deserve it. These repeated thoughts are invisible but powerful, creating strong karmic force. You may speak harsh words only a few times in your life. But negative thoughts? You may think them hundreds of times in a single day. That is why thought karma is ordinary, silent, yet the heaviest burden of all. Modern science confirms this. Neuroscientists explain that repeated negative thinking not only affects the spirit, it leaves marks in the brain. The brain forms negative pathways, making it easier to fall into stress, insomnia, illness, and even high blood pressure. Karma is not some distant, mystical idea. It shows up right in our bodies, our health, and our daily lives. Imagine each thought as a seed. In one day you plant 100 seeds, but 80 of them are toxic. Envy, anger, resentment. What will your inner garden look like? Is it any wonder that you walk through life surrounded by thorns and hardship? If you don't plant flowers, how can you expect a garden of blossoms? The sad part is, many people don't realize it. They say, "It's only in my head, it doesn't matter." But the universe, as the enlightened ones teach, misses no vibration. Every thought is energy, sent outward and returning with the same quality. Send out resentment, you receive resentment. Send out envy, you receive unease. This is the law of cause and effect, working in the subtle world of thought, unseen by the eye. So what I want to share with you today is this. Be careful with what you nurture in your mind. Karma is not only in hands or speech, but in the silent currents of thought. It may seem ordinary, it may be easy to forget, but it quietly shapes the life you live. So I ask you now, today, how many seeds of thought have you planted? Are you planting flowers or are you planting thorns? The answer is yours alone. But I believe once you begin to notice, the path of transformation has already opened. Part 2. The Mind, an invisible broadcasting station. My dear friend, if in the previous part we recognized the silent power of thought, today I want you to imagine something even more wonderful. Our mind is like an invisible broadcasting station. Every thought you create, no matter how small, is a signal of energy being transmitted. The universe, like a perfect mirror, always listens and reflects the exact frequency you send out. When you broadcast the frequency of anger, you will find yourself surrounded by situations that spark more anger. But when you send out the frequency of gratitude, life suddenly feels lighter and filled with more joy. Have you ever turned on a radio and heard static when it wasn't tuned correctly? When your mind is anxious and restless, it feels exactly the same. The whole world around you seems noisy, messy, and you cannot hear the true music of life. But once you adjust your mind, like turning the dial to the right frequency, you immediately hear clear and beautiful melodies. A devotee once told me, I don't know why, but lately everywhere I go I meet difficult people. At the market I get scolded. On the road I easily get into conflicts. I asked her gently, what frequency are you broadcasting inside? What sounds are you sending out into the universe? She fell silent, then sighed. It's true. Inside, I am always upset, worried, and full of irritation. She realized that the world did not hate her. It was simply reflecting back the vibrations she was sending out. Have you seen this in your own life? When you are joyful and loving, suddenly everyone you meet seems kinder and more pleasant. But when anger is already inside you, even the smallest thing can make you explode. That is clear proof that the mind is a broadcasting station. Modern science also confirms this. Every thought, every emotion generates electromagnetic vibrations that affect both your body and the space around you. These vibrations, like waves, never disappear. They spread out, touch other people, and eventually return to you as karmic consequences. Think about it. If you send out loving, gentle energy each day, could your life ever be full of storms? On the other hand, if you are broadcasting resentment and blame, how can peace find its way to you? This is why the key is not how the world treats you. The real question is, what frequency are you transmitting? Life is simply reflecting that back to you. So right now you can ask yourself, what kind of broadcasting station am I? Am I sending out peace or anger? Am I sending love or judgment? The answer lies in the very thoughts you are nurturing today. And remember, the moment you change your frequency, your entire world will change with it. Part 3. The Trap of Thoughts. Invisible Chains. My dear friend, there is a trap most of us have fallen into, though few recognize it. It is the trap of repeated thoughts running through our minds. A harsh word may be spoken only a few times in life. A wrong action may happen once or twice. But what about negative thoughts? They can appear hundreds of times in a single day, even in the smallest moments. And it is this repetition that becomes the invisible chain binding us, tighter than any chains of the world. Have you noticed this in yourself? When someone upsets you, you are not only angry in that moment. Later, your mind replays the scene over and over, perhaps dozens of times. Each replay is not just remembering, it is tying another knot in your heart. You think the moment has passed, but in truth, you are holding on with invisible ropes. A devotee once came to me and said she could not forgive an old friend, even after more than 10 years. She told me, "I don't say anything, I don't curse them, but every time I remember, I feel pain and anger." I told her, for 10 years that person may have forgotten, but every day you replay it, pouring salt on your own wound. The one still in chains is not them, it is you. Do you see? Negative thoughts are like spider webs. At first they seem thin, harmless, but slowly they surround us. They tighten around us until we cannot breathe. On the outside, we may smile and talk as if nothing is wrong, but inside, we are imprisoned by resentment, judgment, and envy. The universe, like a clear mirror, still hears every silent thought. Others may not know, but the energy spreads outward, planted into life, and always returns. When you hold anger in your heart, you are not only sending it outward, you are also bathing yourself in that very energy. It is like sitting in a room filled with smoke. The first person to inhale the poison is you. So the most dangerous trap is not an enemy out there. It is the stream of thoughts we nurture within. Have you ever spent sleepless nights replaying an old event again and again? Or wasted entire days drained of energy, comparing yourself or judging others? If so, you have felt the strength of these invisible chains. But do not be afraid. The moment you notice them, the moment you shine the light of mindfulness, you begin to untie each thread. The trap of thought is no longer a trap once you are awake. And that awakening can begin right now. So let me ask you, are you ready to look inside and see which ropes are binding you? If you can see them, that awareness itself is already the first step to freedom. Part 4. The mind. Your greatest friend or your worst enemy. My dear friend, in life we encounter many people. Those who love us, those who dislike us, those who help, and those who hurt. Yet strangely, the greatest enemy and also the most faithful companion is not out there somewhere. It is right here, within our own mind. If we know how to guide it, the mind becomes our greatest friend, carrying us toward peace. But if we let it loose, it becomes the most dangerous enemy, pulling us into suffering. Have you ever had a day where no one disturbed you, no one insulted you, yet inside you still felt restless, angry, or sad? That is the moment the enemy within your mind speaks up. No one outside is needed. Your own thoughts alone are enough to make you suffer. On the other hand, there are people living in hardship or illness, yet their minds remain clear and peaceful. They smile at life, and their very smile becomes a healing force. What creates this difference? It is how they use their mind. Modern science also confirms this. Those who think positively, nurture gratitude, and cultivate optimism not only strengthen their immune system but also live longer, healthier lives. Meanwhile, those who carry anger and resentment weaken their bodies more quickly. The mind truly can be medicine or poison. I remember an elderly devotee once told me, "Master, my mind feels like a wild horse. It keeps running aimlessly, dragging me from one worry to another. I don't know how to rein it in." I smiled and replied, "Yes, the mind is like a wild horse. If you know how to hold the reins, it will carry you safely to peace. But if you let it go, it will drag you into the abyss." That story is a reminder for all of us. We must learn to hold the reins of our mind. Each time you notice a negative thought arising, instead of letting it pull you away, pause. Breathe deeply. Replace it with a wholesome thought. Imagine this. When someone who once hurt you appears in your mind, instead of cursing them, you silently wish them peace. Who is freed first? It is you. When we change our mind, we change not only our destiny but also the way we see the world. Others may not change, but the way we perceive them transforms. And when perception changes, suffering dissolves. So remember, the mind can be your greatest ally or your most dangerous foe. Who it becomes depends on you. At this very moment, do you wish to befriend your mind? If so, begin now with just one kind thought. Part 5. Practicing Mindfulness. How to transform the karma of thought. My dear friend, we've spoken about the hidden power of silent thoughts, the invisible trap, and the danger of letting the mind run free. So the most important question is, how do we break free? The answer lies in one familiar word that carries a whole treasure within it: mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply knowing what you are thinking, what you are feeling, in this very moment. It sounds simple, but as you'll notice, the mind often runs everywhere, remembering the past, worrying about tomorrow, comparing with this person, resenting that person. Without mindfulness, you have no idea what seeds you're planting in your mind. I often compare mindfulness to a lamp. In a dark room, you stumble, bump, and hurt yourself. But the moment you light a small lamp, everything becomes clear. Mindfulness works the same way. It helps you see the moment a negative thought arises so you can stop before it drags you away. Imagine this. One day you're sitting quietly, and suddenly you remember someone who once hurt you. If you lack mindfulness, anger will flare up instantly and may carry you for hours. But if you practice mindfulness, you notice, anger is arising. You take a deep breath, smile gently, and instead of feeding the anger, you silently wish, may this person find peace soon. In that moment, you have already cut through the karma of thought. A devotee once told me she often lost sleep because she couldn't stop replaying old memories. I taught her a very simple method. Each time a negative thought appeared, breathe in, breathe out, and replace it with a kind intention. A few weeks later, she returned and said she was finally sleeping better, her mind lighter and more at ease. You see, mindfulness is not distant or complicated. It is simply how we water our inner garden each day. If you water the weeds of anger and jealousy, weeds will take over. If you water the flowers of love and forgiveness, flowers will bloom everywhere. And here's the miracle. You have full control over what you choose to water. Mindfulness is the watering can, and you are the one holding it. Science also agrees with this truth. Many studies show that people who practice mindfulness, whether through breathing meditation, mindful walking, or mindful eating, experience lower stress, stronger immunity, and deeper, lasting happiness. This proves that when we manage our thoughts, we don't just change our karma, we change our health, our lifespan, and our destiny. So, where can you begin? Very simply. Right now, as you watch this video, you can pause for a moment, place your hand on your chest, take one deep breath, and gently ask yourself, what am I thinking? Am I planting flowers or planting thorns? Just recognizing it is already a huge step toward freedom. Be patient. At first, you may notice only after repeating the negative thought 10 times, but gradually you'll notice sooner, until one day you catch it the very instant it arises. That is when you truly master the karma of thought. Would you like to try today? With just one breath and one smile, you can already begin to dissolve years of inner bondage. Part 6. Planting Seeds of Kindness. Life will always answer. My dear friend, there's an old saying you've surely heard, you reap what you sow. This is not just moral advice. It is a living truth operating in every moment of our lives. Whatever you are thinking, whatever energy you're sending into the universe today, those are the seeds you are planting in the soil of your heart. Tomorrow, next month, or years from now, you will walk through the very garden you have planted. Now imagine this. If today you plant seeds of love, gratitude, and forgiveness, your life's garden will bloom with flowers. You will meet kind people, experience unexpected joys, and even in challenges, you will find rays of hope. But if you plant seeds of resentment, envy, or bitterness, then sooner or later, you'll walk into a garden full of thorns, where every step feels heavy with pain. Have you ever noticed how some people, though not wealthy, are welcomed and cherished wherever they go. That's because they radiate a gentle energy. They have been sowing seeds of love for years, and life responds with warmth. Meanwhile, others, though no one truly harms them, always feel unfairly treated, misunderstood, or abandoned. This is not because the world is cruel. It is because they are reaping the very negative seeds they themselves have sown. Psychology also confirms this truth. People who practice gratitude, such as writing down 3 things they are thankful for each night, literally reprogram their brains toward positivity. They feel happier, less stressed, and their relationships grow stronger. So you see, planting good seeds is not some lofty moral teaching. It's a practical secret to living healthier, happier, right here and now. I want you to pause and ask yourself, what seeds did you plant today? How many silent blessings did you send out? How many smiles, how many acts of forgiveness did you offer? Don't wait until tomorrow to begin. Right now, you can plant a new seed. With just one silent thought, may all beings be at peace. With just one genuine smile for someone. With just one choice to forgive instead of blame. That is how you plant flowers in the garden of your life. And one day, you'll be amazed to see those flowers blooming everywhere, filling your path with beauty. So let me ask you, do you want your life's garden to be full of flowers or full of thorns? The choice, my friend, is already in your hands. Part 7. Liberation through Unconditional Compassion. My dear friend, when we speak of compassion, many people think it simply means not harming anyone, or occasionally being generous enough to overlook another's faults. But in the teachings of the enlightened ones, compassion goes far beyond forgiveness. It is the active choice to send love, even to those who have hurt us. It may sound impossible, yet this is the very key to true liberation. Have you ever felt this? Someone caused you pain, deceived you, or spoke ill of you. Though time has passed, whenever you recall it, your heart aches again, and you realize you cannot fully let go. If left unchecked, that pain becomes a wound that never heals. Each memory reopening it, each thought making it bleed once more. But when you learn to bless even the one who harmed you, something miraculous happens. The very first person to be freed is you. I remember a devotee who once came to the temple, angry at her younger sister over an inheritance dispute. She told me, I cannot forgive her because she took what our parents left for me. I remained silent for a moment, then gently said, instead of carrying this anger forever, why not try each day to silently wish, may my sister be safe, may she be happy. You don't have to agree with her actions, but you can choose not to imprison yourself in hatred. A few months later, she returned with eyes shining brightly. She said, I'm amazed, teacher. I thought blessing the one who hurt me was impossible, but when I tried, my heart suddenly felt light, as if I had finally set down a burden I had carried for decades. You see, forgiveness is not really about the other person. It is about freeing yourself. If we cling to resentment, the other may still live peacefully, but we remain the ones in chains. Unconditional compassion is the ultimate power, because it no longer depends on whether the other person deserves it or changes. It is a gift you give to your own heart. Modern psychology also confirms this truth. Those who forgive and send goodwill, even in painful situations, experience less stress, lower risk of heart disease, and better quality of life. Think about it. If even your enemies can receive your blessing, then who can bind you anymore? The chain of hatred breaks the very moment compassion arises. From that point on, you walk in freedom, not a victim of the past, but a master of the present. So I invite you to try, just once, to send a blessing to the one who hurt you most deeply. At first it may feel difficult, awkward, even forced, but be patient. Each blessing loosens another knot in your heart, One day, you will suddenly realize your heart has become a pure, flowing stream, free, light, and unburdened. Would you like to begin today? Sometimes just one silent prayer, "May all beings be safe, may all be at peace," is enough to open the door of liberation. Part 8. Building an Inner Universe of Peace. My dear friend, we often spend our lives chasing happiness outside ourselves. A bigger house, more money, a higher position. But have you noticed? Some people seem to have everything, yet remain restless, anxious, even empty. While others, who own so little, are always smiling, their eyes radiating peace. The difference does not lie in external circumstances, but in the inner universe each person creates within. Imagine your mind as a vast garden. Every thought, every emotion is a seed planted in that soil. If you sow anger, jealousy, or resentment, soon your garden will be filled with thorns and weeds, making every step you take painful. But if you sow love, compassion, and forgiveness, then blossoms of peace will bloom, and whenever you turn inward, you will find a hidden paradise. An elderly devotee once told me, "Teacher, I've traveled everywhere searching for peace. I went to temples, traveled abroad, changed my lifestyle, but peace still escaped me." I smiled and said, "Peace isn't out there, it is within you. If your heart is calm, then wherever you go, you will see calmness. If your heart is stormy, then even in a silent meadow, you will feel chaos." Haven't you felt this too? On some days, the sky is bright, yet your heart feels dark. And on stormy days, your heart still rests in serenity. This is proof that the outer world is merely a mirror of the inner universe. Modern neuroscience confirms this. The brain can be rewired by our habits of thought. When you nurture gratitude and love, your brain forms new pathways that make joy more natural. But if you dwell in blame and fear, the brain adjusts to that, and you will experience life as constant unease. What does this mean? It means you have the power to build your own inner universe, a place where peace is the default, and happiness no longer depends on circumstances. You don't need to wait for perfection to feel joy. Start planting seeds of peace in your thoughts right now, and the universe inside you will begin to grow. Then, like magic, the outer universe will slowly realign, reflecting the energy you carry within. Would you like to try? Right now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Imagine a garden within your heart. Plant one seed of love today. Tomorrow, plant a seed of forgiveness. The next day, a seed of gratitude. Soon, that garden will become your own universe of freedom and peace. And you will realize you need not go anywhere, nor seek outside yourself. Turn inward, and you will find a whole universe of tranquility waiting for you. This, dear friend, is the greatest liberation one can attain, right here, in this very lifetime. Conclusion: planting seeds of peace in every thought. My dear friend, we have walked together through 8 parts, each like a piece of a puzzle illuminating the inner life. We began by recognizing the silent karma within our thoughts. Then we understood that the mind is a transmitter of energy. We uncovered the invisible trap of repetitive thinking, and we saw how the mind can be our greatest ally or our most dangerous enemy. We learned to pause with mindfulness to transform each stream of thought. We discovered how to plant wholesome seeds so that life reflects wholesome fruits. We expanded into unconditional compassion, blessing even those who once caused us pain. And finally, we built an inner universe of peace within our very own hearts. That, dear friend, is the path of liberation. Can you feel the wonder of this power? Do you see that you are holding the key to transform your destiny, starting today? What I want you to remember most is this: everything begins with a single thought. One thought can be an arrow, or it can be a flower. Which will you choose to send out today? When you change your thoughts, you change the energy of your entire life. This is not distant theory. It is an experience you can practice right now. Try this. Before sleeping tonight, bless someone in silence. When you wake in the morning, whisper to yourself, "Thank you, life. Thank you, me." And you will see. Your day will be different. Have you ever noticed how one small shift inside can bring about a great change outside? If you have, share it in the comments so that we may learn from one another. I am deeply grateful that you have journeyed with me this far. Grateful for your time, your reflection, and your openness. Congratulations, for you have taken one more step on the path of awakening. But please, do not let today's lesson remain as theory. Carry it into each moment of your daily life. Plant seeds of goodness in your heart, and you will see blossoms everywhere. If you found this sharing helpful, please subscribe to Son.Mindfulness. Follow along so you won't miss the next teaching. And share your thoughts in the comments, for your words may touch another soul. I wish you health, peace, and happiness. May every day of your life be filled with blessings and light. And may your heart, like a garden, forever bloom with flowers. Thank you.